speak about the angels. I've been working with them for a long time and I love them dearly. So they've
Mhm.
helped me throughout my life, and I'm just very grateful for their presence.
Yes. So yeah, just take it away. What's angelic healing for you? How I know it's a lot, but yes, you can tell us about
It's
it.
a big topic, really. I would say all of the archangels and all of the divine rays of light. And if you don't know, a divine ray of light is simply a color frequency of divine energy that is part of the wide spectrum, and each one represents an aspect of divine consciousness, if you will. So each one of the archangels and each one of the rays of divine light resonate with some aspect of healing. And I'll give you an example. Archangel Michael, whom I call Mikael because that gives more power to his name, the
Mhm.
wonderful archangel who is the leader of the archangels, is on the blue ray. And the blue ray energy is the energy of divine power, divine protection. It's a strong energy for cleansing as well. And uh, so I would say his aspect of healing is going to be related to cleansing. So he's the one, along with his blue flame angels, who come and help us release entities and energies and things like that that are not in harmony with us.
Mhm.
So he's a powerhouse when it comes to healing from that perspective, because we can heal once we let go of the stuff that is in the way that is blocking that healing.
Mhm.
And of course, Archangel Yoviel, who is the second ray archangel, that's the yellow ray. The yellow ray angels have to do with healing the inner child. It's about innocence, it's about tapping into the wisdom that is spirit. And it is a frequency that is pure joy. So, a lot of us as children were wounded in some way, and we
Mhm.
ended up needing to be able to heal that inner child. So Yoviel and the Yellow Angels help us do that. Another aspect of healing is, to me, divine love heals pretty much anything. So the third ray of divine light is the pink ray, and that is Archangel Hamuel's ray. And the pink ray angels help us to heal the wounds of love. It's also the ray of divine mother energy. So it helps to nurture
Mhm.
us. It helps to heal also that wounded child in regard to mother issues. And each of the different rays of light have their healing aspect to them. Those are just three examples. Of course, Archangel Raphael, we know him as the healing archangel.
Healer.
He is, in
Yes.
fact, his name in Hebrew means he who heals, or God has healed. And
Mhm.
he's very powerful when it comes to physical healing. He is more aligned with the physical aspect of healing, where I would say Hamuel in the pink ray angels are more aligned with healing those wounds of love. So each of them has their own niche. And I would say
Okay.
that Raphael's is definitely that of physical healing. But here's the
Mm.
thing, I don't just call on one of the rays of light when I'm wanting to do healing work. I
You
call
call.
on all of them.
Mhm. Why
And
not?
I would invoke all the archangels and all of their angels of like the green ray of healing, the white ray of purification, that's Gabriel's ray, the ray of peace, which is purple, gold, and ruby. And that, when you bring in, they are the ministering angels, actually. Ministering
Mhm.
meaning they come to us and they help us. And so they are very wonderful healers as well. And that's the ray Jesus, Yeshua, was on, is the sixth ray of light, which is the ray of peace and radiance. So it's definitely a powerful aspect of healing as well. So yes, I call on all the different archangels. I invoke them. I bring them all in. And the ones who are needed are the ones that will come. You don't
That's
necessarily need them all.
yeah.
But the ones that you do need right then, if you call on all of them, you know that they'll be there for you. And you can
Mhm.
do, a prayer, an invocation. But one of my favorite things to do to commune with them and to really work with them in a powerful way is to connect with them by going up. Now, when I was learning DNA activation back in 1999, there was a wonderful meditation that we used. It was a, a creative visualization, if you will. We would create in the heart a beautiful golden white pulsing star called a pulsar star, and we would let
Mhm.
it emanate. We just visualize it and imagine that with every breath, that star was expanding its energy of grace and peace and harmony through us. And then gradually we would bring that star up. We would visualize it rising through our chakras, moving up and out of our body. And what would happen kind of automatically with this process of when you are visualizing the pulsar star going up and out through your crown, you kind of go with it. It doesn't just go by itself. It's like your
Yeah.
consciousness follows it up, if you will. And
Mhm.
so basically, this meditation, we would send the star up and out through the crown and up to about 55 feet above the body. And there was a level of energy there. Some call it the Christ consciousness, but the level of energy that you could tap into there was really gentle, pure, loving light. And so one of the best things I ever learned was that meditation to take my consciousness up with that star and let it commune with that pure golden white light
Mm,
that was coming
I
into
like
the
that
planet.
one. Mhm.
And so just staying up there in that energy. And actually, part of that process is, and of course, I didn't even know at the time because I had never at that point really learned anything about the I am presence, which is the highest self. But the I
Mhm.
am presence is somewhere between 12 and 55 feet above the body. So when I took that star up to 55 feet, I
Wow.
was tapping into my own pure essence.
Mhm.
And I would then feel a connection. I would feel a stronger communion with the divine. And that was one way I could, in fact, call on the archangels and actually have a strong sense of their energy. I
Mhm.
sometimes would get a sense of the blue light, and I would feel it kind of inundating me with that Archangel Michael energy. Sometimes I would tap into the pure white light, which is the Gabriel kind of energy. But basically, that's a wonderful way to go up and make that connection and just kind of shift your consciousness. And you can call on them from up there in the ethers from high above yourself, and
Mhm.
they will be able to commune with you really deeply. And the cool thing is, when you're up there, and it doesn't have to be at 55 feet, just wherever it feels right for you to go, just rise up until you get to that place where it feels really serene and wonderful. You can set a specific intention to tap into your highest self and to invite into that energy all the angelic beings that you want to work with. And then you can go up and in that energy where you're safe and you're secure and you're at that higher spiritual consciousness level. You can get insights into what needs to be healed. You can access your divine template, your blueprint for ideal health. You can connect to any one of the healing archangels and ask for them to work with you. And you
Mhm.
can, while you're up there, gather a whole heap of wonderful energy of healing, which to me, one of the ones I like the best to use is the golden white light, because the golden white light is that 10th ray, which is pure grace and the purest form of healing possible. And so you can
Mhm.
tap into that and just drink it in while you're up there, and then bring it back down along with your star back into your body and let it emanate into whatever parts of your body require that healing to take place. It's something I did many, many times when I was doing DNA activation and healing work, I would bring that wonderful frequency in. And so that was really quite a powerful process for me to learn back in the day. And I still use it to this day. And
Mhm.
it is one of my favorite ways to connect with the archangels. And one of the things that I do with the angelics is I will let them commune with me, kind of merge into my consciousness when I'm in my higher spiritual light, so that they can guide the healing process, so that they can help me um, to send energy to the parts of the body that need it, or to the energy bodies, to release different blockages and things from the energy bodies as well. And you can actually look down on yourself, although it might actually, sometimes it'll pull you back down into your body if you do that too much. But if you are kind of like just inwardly kind of looking at yourself as if you were this perfect child of light, and knowing exactly what is needed, and letting yourself be guided by those wonderful beings of purest love and light, then you can actually work while you're up in that energy to send
Mhm.
frequencies of light down to your own physical body. And
Wow.
it's a wonderful gift to be able to do that.
Yeah, so that's amazing. It's not, you're not just asking, you go up there and collaborate at the same time with them, so that
Yes,
you're not down here as a victim thinking, I need you, please help me. I'm helpless. You're up there
yes.
as well.
Yes. Well, the truth is, the light beings, the angels, have always said that we are kindred. We are not less than, and they don't want us to think of ourselves as these puny little beings that can't do anything, you know. They want us to recognize that we are creator beings just as they are, and that
Yeah.
we have that kinship with them, and that we can work together to bring about that healing, and not just have them heal us from the outside, but have them become our teachers, our wise counsels, our helpers in the healing process, lending us that light that they carry in their uniqueness, but adding to it our own unique and perfect light, and honoring the fact that we can truly heal whatever needs healing in oneness with the source. Because we're all in oneness with the source. None of us can be separate from the creator. That would be impossible. We're all a part of the great, massive thing called creation. And creation is the light of source, and it's everywhere and it's in everything. It's what we tap into with all our healing modalities. And it's
Yes.
it's really just our journey here, I think, is to remember
Mhm.
that we are that,
Yeah.
to experience going through this thing where we think we're separate,
Mhm.
because that's how we seem here, but
Mhm.
then gradually move back to that state where we realize we're not separate at all,
Yeah.
that we are all a part of that great oneness, and that we are already healed, whole, and perfect. We just have to kind of step into that. And the angelic beings definitely help us do that.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know,
That's that's one of the reasons I wanted to call this whole summit, get a hold of your spirit to thrive in this ever-changing world. Because the world is the world. It's always going to keep changing. Situations are going to change. And when we forget that we have access through our spirit to reach all the angelic realm and source and God and all that energy, when we forget that we can do that, it's when we get stuck.
yes,
And I have to just tell you, because you mentioned this, that collaborate with the angels and remembering that we're also the same energy. I call for the angels a lot, and when my son doesn't feel good, I ask the angels to come through and help him. And there was a time that it just kept happening and happening and happening, and I didn't see any difference, and I kept saying, please angels, help him. And what I heard was, he wants the biggest angel that he has, his mother. And I was,
oh,
oh,
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
I forgot that I can also do this, and he needs me. The biggest angel in his life was me. So yeah, I can
Mhm.
call the angels all I want, but I have to also do my part.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Mhm.
It's funny because for many years I taught Archangel Michael's spiritual warrior classes where people learn to do energy cleansing work with Archangel Michael. But here's the thing. In the beginning of the classes, Archangel Michael would very much be fully like engaged in the process, but
Mhm.
he would want them to participate. He didn't want them to
Wow.
sit back, you know. He wanted
Mhm.
them to learn to wield the sword of light themselves. And so he's happy to teach that, but he also honors that we are here to experience this ourselves. And so
Mm.
he, he will work with you, but he wants you to
To
participate.
participate. Yeah. Mhm.
Probably more than any of the other ones, he definitely wants you to participate because he's so much about, us owning our power, us
Mm.
rising into
Yeah.
who we are meant to become as beings of true light in human
Yeah.
form. So,
That's key when you say owning our power. So that's the key. Is it's not because we have to, it's because it's part of the power that we have in us to use it. Mhm.
yes, exactly. I mean, we
Mhm.
aren't meant to be puny. We aren't meant to be helpless, and I know a lot of times I have gone to that place of self-pity many times
we
in
all
my life,
we all do. Yeah, we all do.
where I can't do it. And I'll get this glimpse of Archangel Michael standing there, just kind of like waiting. And he doesn't usually have, because he's trained me so well for so long, he doesn't usually have to wait very long.
Very long,
I'll come
yes.
around and I'll say, "Oh, I know, I can do it." Because it's sometimes difficult when we go into that place of shadow ego where we think small
Mhm.
and we just are like, "Oh, poor pitiful me."
Yeah.
But the truth is that's not who we are, and we have to just rise beyond that.
Mhm.
And all the archangels and angels are very happy when we do. And of course, your guardian angels will work with you at any time. But here's the thing, I have always found with the angels and guides, they won't tell you the answer.
Mhm. I know what you mean.
When you most want to know it, sometimes, they won't tell you the answer because they say, I can be a mirror for you. I can hold the light of intention for you, but this is something you need to understand and come to realize yourself. And so when that happens, recognize that it's just a matter of them holding space for us sometimes. And they stand there, they hold the energetic framework for us, but then we have to step into that energetic framework. We have to move into that space of knowing and truly trusting and believing that we can be what we choose to be, that we can be healed, that we can be in harmony, that we can be in grace. And that's part of what the journey is all about. So, as
Mhm.
much as I wish they would give me the answers all the time, I don't always get the answers. You have to sometimes live with the question, experience what it is you came to
Experience.
experience,
Mhm.
and come to the understanding yourself. And every single physical issue, emotional issue, all these are our teachers. They're just the things we came to learn. And the more uncomfortable they are, the more we are being urged to learn them. you know?
Sure. Yeah, that's
And that's
definitely good advice. So now, what would you say to the people that are new to angels and maybe don't know that there's an angelic presence in with them? Like, how can we know that our angels are around us?
Well, trust me, if you are alive, they are around you.
Yep.
They are never not present. Your guardian angels are always with you, and they are there to kind of help you in those moments when you feel lost or in those moments when you're afraid. And also, even with physical issues, many times my guardian angels in this life have saved my life, literally when I might have died. They were there to shelter me and hold me. So, those kind of powerful experiences certainly let you know that you have them with you, but everybody has them. And so, what you want to do is get into that meditative state so you can tune in more fully to them. There are lots of wonderful CDs, music things you can find online on YouTube that are the solfeggio frequencies. Those are wonderful
Mm-hmm.
for helping you get into that altered state of consciousness. Also, using the binaural beats music that has that frequency of theta brainwave state or alpha brainwave state to help you get there into that meditative state, because you become more aware of
Mm-hmm.
that which is spiritual when you are in that altered state of consciousness.
That's true.
Uh, every morning I wake up without an alarm clock now. It's
Wow.
wonderful. But when I did have to use the alarm clock, what I would do is I would set it to radio and I would turn it off of a station. In other words, it would be nothing but static. So when it came on, it would be just a very kind of gentle static sound. And I'm a light sleeper, so it would wake me up. And I could wake up gradually and slowly. And when you wake up gradually and slowly like that, you're coming out of sleep state into theta brainwave state. And probably everybody has experienced that either when they're falling asleep at night or when they're waking up in the morning. And theta state is that place where you can really get in touch with the angelic realm, where you can feel, see, or sense them internally. So I would encourage you to listen to music that is connected to theta state, either using the binaural beats or the solfeggio frequencies. That's one of the best and easiest ways. You can do it with breath work. There are a lot of methodologies for getting into theta state, but to me, music is one of the easiest ones, and it helps
Easiest.
you to be able to tap into that inner knowing, to that intuitive awareness, to help you be able to consciously connect more to the angelic realm. One of the things that happened to me once, that I absolutely was one of the most fabulous things in my life, I think. The first time I did the Order of Archangel Michael initiation, which he called me to do in 2001, and I started doing them in 2002. And after the very first one, when I was waking up the next morning, I was waking up to the most beautiful music I had ever heard in my life.
Mm.
I was in theta brainwave state, so I was just groggy. I was not really totally awake yet. And I heard this wonderful chorus of beautiful, the most beautiful singing I'd ever heard. And I knew what it was because there was
Mhm.
no music playing in the house at the time. There was no music, but I heard music. I heard choruses of angels singing. And
Mm.
so when you go to that brainwave state, that is, it's
Mhm.
deeper. Our normal waking state is beta. Then we have alpha.
Mhm.
Alpha is that lighter meditative state, but when we get down into theta, that one that's closer to sleep, but it's not sleep yet. That is the space where we can really connect to the angelic realm. We can ask Archangel Raphael and the Green Ray Angels to
Mhm.
come and place hands on a part of our body if we're having an issue that's physical. We can ask Archangel Hamuel and those Pink Ray Angels to come and hold our heart energy, to hold for us and envelop us in the wings of pure pink light that abide in the purest essence of love, to help
Thank
us to
you.
heal those wounds.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hate to interrupt you because this is all very, very great advice. We have just a few minutes left. Thank you so much. This was great. And